Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. Finding your happy within. You know what? I'm going to tell you what, when we go around out here, we're constantly looking for something outside of ourselves to bring us happiness. You know, we do it in relationships. You know, we're feeling depressed and we're feeling lonely, so we look for that special person to bring us happy. You know, women definitely do it. They think, hey, Mr. Right will make me feel good, will bring a smile to my face. And men do too. You know, men think, you know, publicly, you know, we say, nah, we just want to get that sex. But deep down, we're looking for that woman to bring us happy. You know, we think if we get a certain job, that's going to get us happy. You know, or we make a certain amount of money. We get some property. We get a home. We get that car. And we think, yes, this will finally bring us happiness. Then when we get all these things, whether it's the mate, whether it's the material goods, the job, the more money, those nice pair of shoes, it still doesn't do anything. In fact, I would say a significant part of the economy is based on getting something outside of ourselves to make us happy. And even going to some type of spiritual institution. It's like, oh, I'm going to go to church. That's going to make me feel happy. No disrespect to Christians listening, but, you know, say, hey, Jesus will bring me happiness. Or, you know, whatever spiritual path you take. Oh, that will bring me happiness. But then you find you get those things. You know what? How many people have acquired that beautiful mate and then find out they're still not happy? How many people have gotten that nice car? I mean, I've known of several people in my life who, you know, they would get that nice car and then they still like, oh, you know what? They move into that big house. And they still like, they acquire everything. You know what? That's because they looked outside themselves for happiness. I'm going to tell you what, one of the most profound things was told to me by this Puerto Rican dude. He said a party is just you and your friend sitting around smoking some marijuana. And just to be clear, this ain't saying go get some marijuana and you gonna be happy. That's temporary too. But I knew his meaning. That's what he said. But his meaning was you can be happy wherever you are. See, instead of looking outside yourself for happiness, look within. Be content. Because see, we assign value to whatever we want to assign value. Think about it. There's no way that other person can really make you happy. Think about it. What can they do? Your happiness is dependent on some other human being who can, you know, they decide they don't want to deal with you anymore. And then you sad and depressed because they decide, oh, you know, I don't want to be bothered with you anymore. I'm gone. Your happiness is dependent on that. Your happiness is dependent on some car, getting some car, a nice car. When, you know, cars are built to break down, they're built to depreciate. And at the end of the day, shoot, you can drive it. You can literally drive it off the lot. You could drive it for a week and then somebody scratching it up. Think about it. You know, I had a neighbor got a nice car. Right. And I remember for the first few months, he wouldn't park it in. He would park it in a space. Take up space where no one could hardly scratch it and touch it. He ain't as much now because got a few scratches on it. But can you base your happiness on that? How many people have moved into some neighborhood and they found out, hey, you know, I'm still not happy because there's always something else. But then you have some people out here, like I know this gentleman, right? He's probably, as long as I've known him, he's been one of the happiest people. But he's never had a fancy car. He's had plenty of women, but his trouble with women too. He never got into trying to be the most stylish person in the room. He's worked on very menial jobs. But I consider him a spiritual master because no matter what he does, he finds the happiness. This is not based on the women he got, the cars he didn't get or don't get. I mean, he has a modest home now, but that's not his happiness. The one thing I found with this person is that no matter what they did, no matter how menial a job, they did it with joy. Because it wasn't about the job. It wasn't about the people. It was about them. They were always happy. I'm serious. Even when this person got depressed, because he's still human, he found a way to get back to happy. And I've told him, I said, dude, you're like a spiritual master just walking around here. He doesn't, I don't even think it's natural to him. Ever since I've known him since we were young. This dude he's just happy all the time. And it's not a fake happy. He just realized the happiness don't come without. Oh yeah, he loves the ladies. He loves the ladies, but they don't make him happy. He spends time. He shares his happiness with them. Like I said, he's never been into being stylish. He's never looked outside of himself for validation, or for happiness. And ultimately, people have to be happy or find happiness. I'll say find happiness. Now, this is not to say you want to go out and be homeless or something and just say, well, I'm not going to try to improve my condition. You always want to improve your circumstances, but you want to improve it just for comfort, really. You really just want to improve it. I mean, but not for happiness, just look, I'd rather make more money. I'd rather live in a very comfortable place, for comfort. But if I'm sitting out in a park, or if I'm just sitting by myself, I can find happiness. I can find contentment. And people have to get that way. They have to find it within. Because there's a little secret. Once you find it within, it's not conditional to what something outside of you do. As I said, that person can leave you. That person probably will leave you. Because of their own issues. So you can't, how would you put your happiness on someone else when their subject, they don't have their own happiness. So how can you ask them to make you happy? Or how can you ask a material good to make you happy? You feel good. Some people, they want the material goods because they think they look good in someone else's eyes. No, those other people probably jealous. So you're still not going to get any happiness. Because let me use that material good thing. Okay, yeah, you got that great house. You got that great car. Hell, you can wear fine clothes. You might actually have more stress. Because you might feel good, but why do you really want to feel good? Because you think it make you look good in someone else's eyes, but really they jealous. So you actually get more stress. No, if you get that because you know what, you get that because you like the style. And you like, I like this, I'm gonna wear it. Or I'm getting this car because, I enjoy driving the car. Very functional, but I enjoy it. But not to impress anybody. But it ultimately don't make me happy. So your happiness got to be dependent. Your happiness got to be dependent on you sitting by yourself, literally butt naked. Literally butt naked, and you just come. It's not dependent on what these other people do. It ain't dependent on the material good. A home can burn down in a fire. Are you going to be depressed, or are you just going to be like, oh, got to build it back up? I'm still happy because I'm still here. Your cars, they get scratched up, they get in an accident, they depreciate. Unless you get a Bentley, but they depreciate. So you sitting there like, wait a minute, you putting your happiness in stuff that's kind of temporary, but what's there is you. What's there forever is your spirit. So if you happy in your spirit, you can deal with anything. You see what I'm saying? You can deal with anything. And that's the ultimate power. That's the ultimate gift. That's the where you have to go. So looking for your happiness, finding your happy, find it within. So that's it for today. As always, keep rising and transforming. Peace and blessings.